Welcome to AmdiVibes, where today we are talking about a book that has defeated the greatest codebreakers in history. A book that stumped the intelligence agencies of 2 world wars. A book written in a language nobody has ever seen before or since. Filled with illustrations of plants that do not exist. Astronomical diagrams that match no known system. Pages of text in an unknown script that flows like a real language, but has never been translated by anyone. Ever. For over 600 years, the Voynich Manuscript has sat at the center of one of the greatest unsolved puzzles in human history. This is its story. The discovery. It is 1912. A Polish book dealer named Wilfred Voynich is searching through old manuscripts at a Jesuit college near Rome. He pulls out a handwritten book, approximately 240 pages, written on vellum in a script he has never seen before, illustrated throughout with bizarre, deeply puzzling images. He buys it immediately. He spends the rest of his life trying to understand what he has bought. The book becomes known as the Voynich Manuscript. Radiocarbon dating places the vellum between 1404 and 1438. Nobody knows who wrote it. Nobody knows where. Nobody knows what language it is written in. 600 years of mystery in 240 pages. What is inside the manuscript appears divided into sections. The first looks like a rule, page after page of carefully drawn plants accompanied by text. Except the plants match no known species anywhere on Earth. Botanists have spent a century trying to identify them. Nobody has succeeded. The second section is astronomical, circular diagrams, stars, a partial zodiac that resembles known systems but differs in ways nobody can explain. The third section is the strangest. Page after page of naked human figures bathing in pools of green liquid connected by elaborate plumbing. Relaxed. Sometimes interactive. Completely unexplained. And running through all of it, thousands of words in an unknown script that has never been read. Not once. The greatest minds tried and failed here at AmdiVibes. This is the part that makes this story truly extraordinary. The people who tried to crack this book were not amateurs. World War I military cryptographers, the people breaking enemy codes in real time, studied it. They got nowhere. World War II brought the U.S. Army signal corps to the problem. The people cracking the most sophisticated military encryption ever devised. They got nowhere. William Friedman, arguably the greatest cryptographer of the 20th century. The man who broke Japan's purple cipher. The man whose work built the foundations of the NSA. He spent years on the Voynich Manuscript. He got nowhere. The manuscript has defeated every serious mind that has ever attempted it. Every single one. What the statistics tell us, modern researchers have applied computational linguistics and statistical analysis to the text. The results are deeply puzzling. The text has genuine properties of a real natural language. Word length distribution, word frequency patterns, the confident flowing rhythm of something that means something. But it also has properties no known language shares, vocabulary that is oddly limited, letters that never appear at the beginning of words, rules governing which letters appear next to which, others that are unusually rigid. Either this is a language with genuinely strange statistical properties, or it is something designed to look like a language without actually being one. Both possibilities are unsettling. The theory's serious researchers hold several competing theories. The most widely accepted is that it is a genuine text, either a real language encrypted in a sophisticated way, or an artificial philosophical language of the kind Renaissance scholars were genuinely interested in constructing. A second theory, persistent but controversial, is that it is a hoax created to deceive a wealthy collector. The problem with this theory is that producing 240 pages of text that perfectly mimics natural language statistics, with medieval tools and no computers, would itself require genius of the highest order. A third theory sits at the fringes of serious research, that the Voynich Manuscript is exactly what it appears to be. A genuine scientific text from a tradition of knowledge completely lost to history. A real language spoken by a real people whose existence we have never discovered. A lost civilization's only surviving document. It sounds extraordinary. It cannot be ruled out. The claimed solutions here is the most frustrating part of the story. The Voynich Manuscript has been definitively solved many times. In 1921, a professor claimed it was written by the 13th century friar Roger Bacon in Code. Celebrated, then demolished. In 2004, a researcher identified it as Ukrainian. Collapsed under scrutiny. In 2017, a British academic said it was a women's health manual in abbreviated Latin. Demolished within days. In 2019, a researcher went viral claiming to have fully decoded it in a hypothetical ancestor of Romance languages. Universities issued press releases. The world got excited. Linguists dismantled the solution within 48 hours. The press releases were quietly withdrawn. This is the pattern that has repeated itself for 100 years. A bold claim. Worldwide excitement. Then silence. The manuscript remains unsolved. Where we are today, the Voynich Manuscript lives at Yale University's Voynich Library. It has been fully digitized and is freely available online. Thousands of people are looking at it right now. Analysis has produced genuinely interesting results recently. Statistical patterns suggesting the text encodes real information. Structural features supporting the artificial language theory. New directions for researchers to explore. The work continues. The answer has not been found. Lesson: so what does the Voynich Manuscript teach us? It teaches us that some mysteries are not solved by intelligence alone. The greatest codebreakers in history. The most powerful AI ever built. A century of serious academic attention. And a book written 600 years ago is still keeping its secret. We live in an age that believes no problem is beyond human intelligence equipped with enough computing power. The Voynich Manuscript sits in its library at Yale and quietly disagrees. It also teaches us something about obsession. This book has destroyed careers, consumed decades of brilliant people's lives. Driven researchers to publish solutions they knew were incomplete because the need to have an answer became stronger than the commitment to having the right one. There is a warning in that. And the final lesson is the most important. We do not know everything. A book written 600 years ago, 240 pages, thousands of words, and we cannot read a single sentence. The humility that requires. The recognition that human knowledge has enormous gaps we have not yet mapped is not weakness. It is the beginning of real curiosity, and real curiosity is the beginning of everything. If this story gripped you, share it with someone whose mind needs opening today. Subscribe to AmdiVibes for more stories that reach into the strangest corners of human history. We'll see you in the next one.